Hoo-wee, what's going on YouTube is Donnie B all day, or as Young Shredder likes to say it, not says it, Donnie B all day. I love that. So, let's get into this knife. I have had this thing sitting around for quite a while waiting to be reviewed, and I really wanted to carry it today, so I figured I better review it because I don't carry them unless I've already gone through it. So this is the Kershaw Speedsafe folding pocket knife, and I know there's some like corresponding letters. It is 1308TANBW. So that is what it is. It is a Speedsafe, and it is really cool. I liked it when I got it, and I just haven't taken it out and used it. Let's get to some specs here. So this thing, obviously brand is Kershaw, model is 1308TAN, which is tan, BW, which is black wash. Let's see, the blade length is 3 3/8, total length is 8 inches. It does not have the handle material for the scales, but I can tell you this, it's spring assisted, and it is a flipper. It is a liner lock. And right here you can see, doesn't want to it's got a really good spring assist in there. It holds it really well, so you know that when you just touch this, it's going to open no matter what. Harder you touch it, the faster it opens. You do have a deep pocket clip, which I do like. You do have a lanyard hole, which I do like. It is without internal frame in the spine, so it is completely skeletonized this way. It is jimped up top with double thumb studs for ambidextrous use. Speaking of ambidextrous use, the clip appears to not be such. It clips only one way. It is tipped down, but that's okay. Let's see. Now let's get into this right here. You can see that there's all kinds of little bumps and lines, which gives you a good grip. And it's kind of like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of a little tacky once you start using it, but it is like a plastic. It's a It's a kind of a hard plastic. So that's what that is. It's okay. You do have steel frame. All your pins are steel, screwed in with steel, so you get a little bit of that. You got this really cool drop point right here. That's almost somewhat in quasi-tanto-ish, which makes for really good stabbing, and it makes for really good strength. But what we want to do today is find out, how it performs. Let's compare it to a couple things that I have sitting next to me. Got the Gerber Sumo. You can see the Gerber Sumo is just a big bad mamba jamba. And I have next to me, what's next to me? The SR1, and you can see that that is a big bad mamba jamba with a triad lock. And next to me, speaking of triad locks, we have the 4MAX by Cold Steel. So you can see, relatively, this is not a very large knife. And the Combat Troodon, which is thinner, I believe, in profile. It is. It's thinner in blade width, but it is longer. So you can see where it is in comparison to other blades. This is a really good pocket size carry. I know it looks really small because my hands are really big, but it's actually a good size pocket knife. Let's see what we got here. Let's see before we take it outdoors. Oh, look at that, a little smash it box. All right, so let's do a dig and drag. Dig and drag. Now there's a lid in there too. Some pretty thick boxes, went all the way through, dragged all the way through. That's not so bad. Let's do a little downward hit into this corner here, and that's not so bad. That's not so bad. So as far as edge geometry and getting through stuff, it's gonna work. Let's see. As far, wow, okay, Kershaw. See what you're doing here. It is shave sharp out of the box. Not so bad. So I'm actually a fan of Kershaw knives. I think they make a really good knife as far as their steel is done well. I don't think it said what the steel is, as a matter of fact. I'll have to try and find that out. That's crazy. But let's get it up. Now, I've seen these, before we go out, I've seen these online selling anywhere between like 15 and 30 bucks. So you can still find them before they're all gone away. It's one of those knives to get, get it before it's gone type thing. As far as this contouring right here is, that is really nice in the fingers. I'm actually digging that, and I like the fact that, like all flippers, it creates its own guard, and I like that. Down to business, and I'll actually do this while we stroll. There is a channel out there, and it is called Mad Dog Survival. M-A-D, Mad, D-O-G, Dog Survival. S-U-R-V-I-V-I-A-L. So, Mad Dog Survival is a newer channel. It's got less than 500 subscribers, which after seeing what he does, he shows survival stuff. It's kind of surprising to me that he has such few amount of subscribers. Now, the guy I do believe, is a former British soldier, right? And he is an absolute survivor. It goes with his name because he is right now coming off of like a double heart attack or something like that in the hospital. And he put up a video saying, hey, I'm good now and I'm going to be back. So if you would, in our little knife community here, if you would, why not swing over to Mad Dog Survival? Check out his vids. You might actually like some stuff. Hit a little subscribe on there. That won't hurt you too much. And then, well, you're at it, subscribe to this channel. And then maybe give him a, hey, get better soon. Hey, well wishes. Hey, something like that. Just to say, this is who we are. This is what we do. Knife people stick together because, as I said before, we are the knife people of planet Earth. Let's, before I do any cutting, I'm going to do batoning first, which I never do because it's a good way to dull the blade. But I like the edge on a Kershaw, and I want to see exactly what we're looking at here. So let's get this down. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, let's do that one more time. You notice how the lock has not disengaged, which is weird because normally on a folder when you're doing batoning, even if the lock is good, a lot of times it'll disengage just because, you're making it vibrate, it's going to shift. This one did not, which is really, really nice. So after a couple little batons there, let's see if we can do a push cut with this guy. And wow, that was absolutely simple. So batoning through wood and then going through and hitting a cut, that worked out pretty freaking well. And you can nose spin short distances, and just as I say you can do that, I'll miss, but the rest of them are going to go. All right, so throwing it, no loosening, batoning with it, no loosening, everything solid. Let's do some 4-foot drops, 4 feet from tip to stump, and we will see exactly how balanced it is. Hey, not so bad for a small folder. On a small folder, the weight is always going to be in the rear because you have everything that it has to fit into its compartment. You got your scales and your frame and all that crap. So generally, it's not going to fall as perfectly straight. This one did. That's pretty impressive. Let's do a couple hard downward throws. We're going to check a couple things on this. We're going to check a tip, which I have great confidence in the tip, but we're also going to check locking mechanism, see if that closes on us. And we are going to check scales. We're going to see if anything loosens up in here, and pivot point. If anything is going to jar it loose, it's going to be a hard strike. Hey-ya! Well, there was definitely a hard strike. And because it missed, it's a good way to, wow, nothing is loose there. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm hitting it and it's laying down. Let's try to go straight up. There we go. There we go. So, obviously there's no tip damage, which I didn't think there would be. There's no scale loosening. The knife closes. The knife opens. The knife stays locked. All right, so what we have here is a pretty sturdy little flipper, right? It can take a little bit of abuse and get the work done. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. This could be a pretty good take-along knife into the woods. So when you're using your big camp blade, for all your big camp blade purposes, you can use your little blade to do things like cut your rope and feather stick. So that's some pushes. Let's do some pulls. Oh, look at those pretty curls. Pretty curls. Oh my goodness. Whoops, I just cut them all off. But you can see those are freaking nice. All right, let's do some drags. Let's do some drags. And I don't mean put on a dress and call yourself Nancy. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'll tell you, this knife pretty good, man. This knife's pretty good. Let's make a spear tip here. So when you're doing your tent spikes and pit spikes and your spears and arrow tips and all that jazz, you want to be able to chop down. And while this is a small folder and not a chopping knife, when it comes down to chopping a fine tip, it's gonna do the job. Gonna do the job no matter what. And you can see how well that's working. We get it to a point where now all we have to do is just brush it up, and it's doing that just fine. So as far as like a hunting kit knife, a fishing kit knife, just a bring it to work and open boxes knife, an everyday carry knife, this thing's gonna cover all bases. This thing's gonna cover every single one of those bases. And it's gonna do it pretty darn good. Now, I didn't have a video planned for today, so I'm really glad that Scab over at Choir Boys with a Z, Choir Boys Cutlery, reached out to me, because he's the one who told me about Mad Dog's heart attacks I didn't know about. So I'm really glad Scab gave me that information, because we want to see this guy get better and do better and get back to making videos, because, you know, as a knife community, this is what we do. Also, we got something big coming up that I got a message today from the shredder over there, Big Papa John. Got some things coming up where John reached out to myself and Scab, and we're going to do something for the community, to promote the community, and this one's going to be very, very well deserved. So so pay attention for that. As far as this guy is concerned, we're not 100% done yet. We're just not done. As you can see, tractor's still broken, yard's still a jungle. I have to take pictures today and contact the guy about another one. So hopefully this will all be gone soon. I'm starting to look like a little house on the prairie with all this crap. Where's little Laura Ingalls? Laura! All right, so here we go. Let's see. Is it going to be our skinning knife? It does have a swedged taper right here, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable to have your finger on. And let's see. Woo wee! That's sharp. That is sharp. That is sharp, y'all. Man, that is nice. That is nice. That's just really sharp. But there's a sharpness test that, while it doesn't seem like that much, it really is, because a lot of knives are failing on it. We're going to come over here to the trampoline that the tree fell on, and we're going to do a slight pressure test on the plastic netting. And look at that. Look at that. What was it, 4 or 5 knives now couldn't do what this knife just did. Just right through. Easy. Glides. So here's the deal. This one, I believe they stopped making. You can still find them. They're still out there. They're very, very affordable. And if you do happen to see one, I can absolutely recommend this little knife right here. I can abso-freaking-lutely recommend this knife. It's a good one to have. If you cannot find this model, I guarantee you any other Kershaw you find similar to this is going to work just like this. Every Kershaw I have and have used so far has performed gallantly. And I'm pretty proud of it. It even matches my Jeep. All right, so that's not so bad. I got some stuff to do. I got to get out and about, get stuff up, down, and out, and then I'll be back for some more yippee-ki-yay type stuff. So right here, wee. That right there is not so bad. I do like this little Kershaw blade. That's it for me. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.